she'll be watching it, and you'll be like,
I'm just gonna walk in. Just kidding.
like cheering on the mind rape, or being like, it's just a fucking communicator. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday Night Gentlemen, the Multimedia Empire official podcast. This is episode number 16. On this show, we talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, video games, and everyone's favorite, political discourse. I am your host, Tactic Angel, and with me is Midget Radio, my murderous socialist friend.
Hello.
How are you today, Midget Radio?
Doing pretty well. How are you?
I am, I'm feeling okay. I have a delicious glass of Collingwood whiskey.
Ooh,
with me.
Collingwood. How is that whiskey? I have never had it.
You have, I think, because it comes in what some people refer to as kind of a cologne bottle.
Oh, okay.
And it's a maple whiskey from Canada, and as I recall, it is actually, I think, aged in maple rather than infused with like maple liqueur afterwards.
Oh, interesting.
Which I think is a little bit cheap
to infuse post. Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's a whiskey. I'm going to dump some syrup in it.
Yeah. That seems a little sad. I'm guessing, I feel like I remember that shape the last time I was at your place. I don't remember any of the things I drank at that time, except for the Japanese whiskey, which was good.
Yeah. Centauri Toki, right?
Yeah. That was good stuff. I enjoyed all of the whiskeys that I had at your place that time.
There were a couple.
There were a couple. They were good.
But you ran off to get a drink yourself. I assume that you are back to the Levitt.
Yeah. It's because it's early here. For me, it's like 10:40 in the morning. And I got out of bed about an hour ago. And I mean, I already have a few misgivings about drinking this early in the morning. But
it was your idea.
It was. I mean, it felt like a professional decision.
Tradition. A
kind of duty. To this show. So I did. I went with the Livet because I'm comfortable with the Livet. It's a good. It's a good.
You know what to expect.
Yeah, it's not an overpowering scotch.
Fantastic. Midget Radio, do you know what we're talking about today?
I don't. I hope that you tell me.
Oh, good. He does know.
I do know.
But we will be talking about No Man's Sky, the Pathfinder update, followed by a couple of reactions to different trailers that have come out, the Atomic Blonde and Wonder Woman trailers. And then we will be talking about Expanse.
The Expanse.
The Expanse, the science fiction TV show that's on the Sci-Fi TV network. See? Makes sense.
Good work.
First, though, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a video game that came out last year, and a lot of people were not real pleased with it. It has had a couple of major updates. Last time we talked about it was right after the Foundation update, which added base building and capital ship buying and several other little things to kind of make the universe feel a little bit less empty. This time we've got the Pathfinder update, and it appears to be adding a little bit more story to some of the NPCs you can hire, and also ground vehicles, more building stuff, and a lot of quality of life upgrades. Midget Radio, you have played the new No Man's Sky update.
I have.
What are your first impressions?
I mean, I like it. I kind of still, I mean, I never really hated this game. But you know, it seems like the stuff that they've been adding, including this Pathfinder update, have all served, I think, to only make the game better and more fun to play. I did run into a few bugs, or at least I was experiencing a few bugs that I had been experiencing before, that were kind of pissing me off and don't seem to have been resolved yet. But I'm still a big fan of this update so far.
Okay. I don't know what bugs you mean specifically. I've run into one or two having to do with upgrading my freighter.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was a point where I built something and then it appeared to have walled off one of the rooms and there was nothing I could do about it except reload my last save, which was actually kind of a good thing because I didn't like what I had done. I wanted a second stab at it.
Well, that's not bad. So I was a little irritated because I had started on the foundation update and I was doing, you know, some of the basic, really rudimentary base building, and I got to that point in the game where you have to get that advanced mining laser.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go find this dude, you know, to go get it from him. So, but the planet I was on, though, it was a small moon, and it was and there was a lot of water on that moon. So there wasn't a whole ton of like land masses or anything, but it was a really really gorgeous, you know, almost Eden-like moon, and that's why I was like, oh, this is a pretty kick-ass home planet, so I'll just live here. And so every time I got the fucking quest to go find the dude to get the mining laser, it always led me to the middle of nowhere, and almost every time underground in a watery cave, and of course there was nothing there. So I just kind of stopped playing at that point until this Pathfinder update, and then I tried to do it again. Still the exact same issue, so I eventually just had to find a totally new rocky home planet, and haven't had that issue since. But that's really irritating to me. I really like my first planet, but oh well.
You can always go back.
Yeah, that's true.
Too much work. Anyway,
true.
Now the only significant bug I've had is, like, I wish the game was smart enough to realize when I am trying to help the freighter.
Oh, okay.
And so when a freighter is under attack and I shoot 90% of my bullets or my, you know, laser beams into space or into the hull of someone who's attacking that freighter, and one grazes their ship, they call the police on you.
Yeah.
And then after they called the police, I was like, well, fuck you. I didn't do nothing wrong. And then I was like, oh, wow. They fixed the police because they used to despawn after you beat so many waves of them. And they don't anymore.
Well, so they're like GTA police now.
They are. Yeah. So then I was like,
win.
I'm going to fly onto the planet and they'll give up in the atmosphere. They don't give up in the atmosphere anymore.
Shit. Seriously.
So then I was like, all right, I'll defeat all these guys. Then I'll land and run in a cave.
Okay.
But instead of seeing a cave, I saw like one of those container sort of things sitting all by itself.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it looks like, it's like the mobile home one. That's just one long room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I land right in front of that and run to the door. And I'm going to hide in here like a total boss. And almost immediately, I was beset by like 4 seeker drones
Wow.
and 2 of the little dog drones and 2 of the giant walkers. And you're like,
fuck.
this is a little out of control.
Yeah.
And I killed a few of them, and it was just such a crazy firefight that it actually crashed.
Yeah. Yeah. So I ran into an issue, but I only managed to spawn one of the walker bots, and for some reason, as soon as I shot it, the game crashed on me. So I don't know if it's an issue with if you piss
Walker
off
bots?
enough sentinels, you get the walker bot that it'll crash the game, but
He will make you stop criming.
yeah, they will win one way or the other.
Did it hard freeze and just like the music's still going, but
Yep.
all right, nice.
Yep.
That's exactly the same thing that happened to me.
Yep.
It wasn't a scary freeze if you're listening to this podcast, because you could still exit.
Yeah.
Normally.
You can still manually, close the application. So
Yeah. It's just something has happened that didn't work.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah.
Also added to this update are the ability to purchase or kind of build or quest. It's kind of a combination of the 3 for ground vehicles.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you do anything with the ground vehicles?
I built I saw that there was more than one. And I only got to, I guess, the first one, which is kind of a little dune buggy type thing. And I got that, and I got the advanced accelerator thing and the laser beam and the mining laser.
Nice.
So those are pretty fun. The mining laser is fucking fantastic. I enjoy that it does not ever overheat. That's pretty useful and nice. And yeah, I mean, I like I like the little vehicle. It's nice to be able to get around in something other than the ship, and it's nice to be able to drive around. You can move a little bit faster than you can on foot.
Do you summon it like you summon your freighter? Like press down and you can just point and it'll show up?
I haven't tried that. I didn't even know I could do that. I usually just drove it everywhere.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I haven't actually got it.
Oh, really? I'm surprised by that.
Okay. We've talked about this, but when I play this game, I play it like I have a child's attention span.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, and it's a game that's not at all challenging.
Right. Yeah.
I think they have it properly labeled now. If you're playing on normal mode, the chill out experience, it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like sometimes I land on a planet and it says Sentinels hostile. And I'm like, that's not cool, man. I'm not going to hang out on your planet.
Yeah.
You're going to be like a jerk, man. I'm just looking for some Chrysilium or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I can't find that.
That shit is hard to find. Yeah. That's a pain in the ass.
So that's neat. The first vehicle you get is kind of like a dune buggy that has like kind of strange wheels. Like they're round.
Yes.
But
they are round.
I like it. It looks neat. You can also get a giant like crawler, which I think is yes.
Okay, we had a hiccup. I will cut that out.
Okay.
So I don't remember what I just said. They are round. That's what I just said, and then I did not hear anything after that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying they are round and they are kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like cutely round.
Yeah.
And then after that you can build, and I don't know the order or if there is even an order after that. There's a giant sort of crawler thing that has like I think 6 or 8 wheels.
Yeah.
It just looks like a giant bus.
Yeah, it does.
You can also build this sort of, it almost looks insect-like because it has these 4 hover pads, and that actually, I hear, hovers across water.
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't know if you had a chance, but you can actually drive your car underneath the water.
Actually, so like I said earlier, I moved my entire base to a completely rocky planet. So I have not seen any water in a while.
Water seems rare in this game.
It does. Yes, it does.
But if you do find water and you do take your little doom buggy down underneath it, like the physics are all messed up. The physics of the vehicle look to be a little bit forgiving.
Yeah, they're generous.
Strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are even more strange underneath the water.
That's cool.
But I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, with those giant tires, you'd almost just assume they float.
Yeah, they practically could, I'm sure.
Oh, it would be neat if they added something that your tires would actually kind of guide you.
That would be
so that like
sweet.
You could just like fly around in that underneath the water.
It'd be awesome, like a paddle boat.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've heard from people who have played this update, is that it's a little disappointing that you can't customize those ships.
Yeah,
the land vehicles.
Yeah, and I feel like, because they just updated it too to where you can name the base. I think is that new? Or I just noticed it anyway.
Yeah, you can. That also came. You can rename your base, your ship.
That's cool.
Your freighter. You can rename your gun.
Oh shit! Really? That's cool.
I like it because I run up to my ship and it will say above it Regal Dame. And I'll jump in that.
Nice.
Okay. That name I've used for several ships, going back to Crimson Skies, the video game. You remember that?
Oh yeah. Was that, what the fuck was that? PS2, I think?
I think I played that one on PC.
Okay.
But yes, it was a long time ago. Yeah. And you get to play, and you're like the wonky sort of alternate World War I, World War II era.
Yeah.
And so like it just felt right to name one of my ships the Regal Dame in that, because nose art and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
So I brought it back, and oh man, I just love it. I actually really like my ship. I like this game. This game is completely stress-free, except if you're like actively looking for a challenge.
Yeah.
They added a mode harder than survival mode, which is
permadeath. Yeah.
No thanks.
I can't say I'm real interested in that at all.
There is a 100% chance that I will never load that unless it is part of a bet / drinking game.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
They also added several other quality of life issues in terms of just how the game looks and how it behaves. I don't know if you noticed this. When you first load it up, it is a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
Like quite a bit blurry.
Yeah.
And did you have the sense to turn down the motion blur?
I did
quite a bit?
Not.
Okay.
I guess
I suggest doing that.
I might do that.
Because I moved it from like 180 to like 20 or 30. And the game looks more or less like you'd expect it to look.
Okay. Cool.
Then it just has a soft amount of that, because right now it looks like you drank too much and you haven't changed your contacts for 3 days. And
yeah,
I don't know. I don't have contacts. it could look like anything.
Sure.
They also added a photo mode.
Yeah, I did not play with that at all.
I did, and I sent you some photos.
Mm-hmm. They're very pretty.
Now the neat thing about the photo mode is when you press it, time pauses, and you kind of go into this disembodied mode. So you press it if you're in your ship, and most of the time I press it, you're in your ship. Otherwise, I mean, why bother?
Yeah.
Then you can zoom in any direction.
That's cool.
If you don't like what you're looking at, like, man, this is pretty good, but like, I'm not getting enough, of the gleam of the sun or whatever it is. Or wouldn't this be great if it was a sunset rather than high noon? Like if you took a picture on the ground, you hit a button, it will change the location of the sun.
Wow.
As in, like, I mean, it's still within the time cycle, so it'll advance it like a couple of hours.
That's
so it's not
cool.
like you can just move the sun wherever you want.
Right.
It'll just kind of randomly jump forward, and you'll be like, no, that's not quite good, and keep hitting it until it goes where you want.
That's pretty sweet.
You can mess with depth of field. I don't think that it works right now. You can mess with filters because everyone wants their sepia tone
gotta
space
have sepia
pictures.
Space picture. Absolutely. Vintage Polaroid.
And actually in these images that I've included, it does have the dynamic filter on it, which just bumps the contrast up a little bit.
Okay, that's cool.
So, I mean, I think it's really cool. You get all of all the controls. You can even left, right, and space, so that like everything's not just flat on an even thing.
That's cool.
I think to go along with the chill experience that you get with No Man's Sky, it has now become the ultimate who can create the best science fiction wallpaper game.
Yeah.
And that goes along nicely with the update to the PS4 that happened this week.
Oh, yeah.
So I set one of my pictures as the background, and then you choose the colors of the boxes for the folders and whatnot. You only get like 8 choices from that, but it's still a pretty good look.
Yeah.
Also, since you can go online and basically pull up any web address you want, you can functionally set any image that you want as your background.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Other things that came in with the update to the PS4 are external hard drives, and who cares about anything else?
Yeah, I won't really use any. There's the enhanced mode or whatever, overpowered mode. I don't know what the fuck.
Super.
Yeah.
Super.
And I don't care. Like all the games. I mean, I don't have a PS4 Pro, and I guess that's kind of what it's for. But
yep.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a very I'm not enough of a gamer. But I've never bitched about frame rate once while playing a video game. So I don't really care.
That's probably not true. But when we bitch about frame rate, it's because it drops significantly from 30.
Right. If it's to like 10, then it's lag. But yeah. Then it's the reason that I get killed in first-person shooters. It's the only reason I get killed in first-person shooters.
It's not skill. It's the lag. Do you have any more thoughts on No Man's Sky, the Pathfinder update?
I have a question for you regarding the scanner.
Scanner.
So, and I guess it sounds like you haven't driven around in one of the vehicles yet, but so the scanner when I'm running around on foot seems extraordinarily temperamental on whether it's going to identify, a plutonium crystal or something like that. Sometimes it just seems to fucking miss it. And then when I'm driving in the vehicle and I put the scanner in that, it doesn't pick up shit, and I don't know why. But it's really irritating.
So I haven't noticed that. I know your scanner has a range.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can be right next to the fucking, like, or it will detect, like, it'll detect like those thallium plants, or plutonium, plants, stuff like that without issue. For some reason, it's the crystals that it seems to miss, which is annoying because you always need plutonium. So
yeah. And plutonium has become a lot harder to find.
Yeah, it really has. And I don't like, is there any kind of upgrade to the engine, the takeoff engine, that it's like, hey, maybe it will accept something other than fucking plutonium?
Well, I don't know, but if they had an upgrade to the engine that at least gave me more miles per gallon,
yeah,
so to speak. Nice. So rather than 4 liftoffs, I could get 5, 6, 8, 10.
That would be amazing.
I might lose a slot or two over that. Because there are times where you're like, I would like to go over there, but if I land, I will not be able to take off more than once.
This is a very environmentally unfriendly spaceship.
Well, here's the thing. When there are 18 quintillion worlds, if you ruin 15 quintillion of them,
that's fine.
Who gives a shit?
But goddamn,
the only reason we care about pollution is because there's only one Earth.
Yeah. Man, if there were 2, fuck this place. Right?
I mean, if you could. Now, they did say you can grow potatoes on Mars this week.
Oh, really? Well, there you go.
So right there next to your cremated ashes, potato farm.
I'll be the first potato farmer. Love it.
Martian potato farmer. Don't just call me a potato farmer.
Martian. Awesome.
I haven't had a lot of issues with the scanner, but I haven't been all that. Man, I'm just trying to chill out, man. Just having a good time.
See, I feel like
having a good time.
Like the game, I don't know. Maybe it's just us, because that was the overarching theme of this game when it first came out, and it remains that way. And each update has only made it, a little bit more interesting to play. But fundamentally, I feel like it was the thing it was more or less designed to be. So I still don't really understand all of the animosity.
So I mean, like, and you do get the people who, well, I'll say this. It came out in a way that it was not wholly playable because it crashed a lot.
Yeah, I guess
after they fixed that, you're like, well, there's not enough content here. Well, it's like an unlimited amount of content if it's the content that you want.
Yeah.
So some of that was just like people ran away with the hype train. And I get that people want to get together and do stuff, but I don't.
No, neither do I. And I feel like that was never because I thought that Sean, is it Murphy or Murray? Murray. I feel like that was pretty fucking clear from the get-go. Like from the beginning of the game.
Well,
it's so massive and you'll probably never run into anybody. Like,
right. But saying it in that way, or saying that the only way you'll know what you look like is if another player tells you, definitely leads you to the conclusion that you can see other players.
I guess. Yeah.
But as it got closer to the release, they reined that in, and they're like, this is really about a single player experience.
Yeah.
And did everything but say, this is a single player game, which it is.
Yeah.
And yet it isn't, because Bumblebee 24899,
that son of a bitch,
found that planet.
Fucking bastard.
It was like, I don't know. It's a dirty planet. Someone else has been on it.
Seriously, of all of the people in the world to run into another No Man's Sky player, why would it be me? Why would it be me? I never want to see fucking anybody ever.
I actually, I'm up to 52 world or 52 systems that I've explored.
Wow.
No, 42.
Wow.
And 24 that I've just used as a skip.
Okay. Yeah.
And not one of them has been
bitch
found by a person. It's the greatest experience. I'm going to start naming planets Midget Radio Sucks.
I'll probably find it. I will probably fucking run across it.
You will have to run around on the planet, and I will allow you this. You will be able to name all of the things on the planet, and you can psychotically run around typing, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
That's what it is. That's all it's going to be. That's how I win.
This is a no, it doesn't cow. This is a no, he doesn't sheep.
I love it. I can't wait to find them. God damn it.
Fantastic. That's about all I've got. I think this is a game that you probably still want to hold on to if you have it, or if you don't have it, you can probably pick it up cheap. If you like solitary, relaxing experiences, No Man's Sky just keeps getting better, and hopefully we'll see another update in 2 or 3 months, which will make it even more worthwhile.
I agree.
Subject over. Trailers. As it was said to us, our public demands
they do
that we talk about Atomic Blonde.
We had an overwhelming number of requests for this.
100% of Blue Sky Giants demanded we talk about Atomic Blonde.
No uncertain terms.
Atomic Blonde is an action movie that stars, is it Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
Is that who's in this?
Yeah.
She's blonde.
She is.
What do you think?
While I was watching it, it kind of seemed like Charlize Theron's John Wick. That's sort of the overall vibe that I got from it. That's about that, which I appreciate, and I'm totally 100% behind. But I'm generally behind any movie, attempting to kind of revitalize or capture what action movies should be. So it looks fun. It looks like Charlize Theron as a female version of John Wick, more or less.
Yes, I agree. Do you have any further thoughts?
James McAvoy is in it.
Great.
Professor Xavier. And
I know who he is.
John Goodman?
I just don't care. I did see that.
That's exciting.
It seems to me that she works for like MI6. Right?
I don't know. I guess so. But
and
maybe
John
she's
Goodman's
freelance.
like,
I don't know.
John Goodman is clearly an American.
Yes, obviously is. So maybe she's branching out. I don't know. She's diversifying a little bit.
I think this is only as interesting as the trend is interesting for older and older people to get into.
Yeah.
Action movies.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. That said, it looks pretty fun. I like that the trailer opens up with that kind of unbroken fight sequence in the beginning. That looks entertaining. So I don't know.
Well, it looks like she's going to do more than just hit people in the balls and shoot them in the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I saw it and I said, I'm on board, but honestly, I have nothing to talk about. Blue Sky Giant. You come here and you tell me.
They played a cover of a really great New Order song in the beginning.
They did.
So that was awesome. I liked that as well. That's it.
Fantastic. Wonder Woman also had a new trailer. Wonder Woman is a movie also about a woman who likes to beat up men.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain what Wonder Woman is.
No, I think everybody knows at this point.
So we both watched the trailer. What do you think? What do you think?
I dug it. It continues to look promising. To me, anyway. I like how much of the trailer takes place on Paradise Island.
They actually say the word
I can't say it.
I think it's supposed to be the mascara.
Well
Every time I see it, I say the mascara.
It is a real Greek place.
I understand.
Themyscira. You're just racist against Greeks. You always have been. It's always been a problem.
I thought you were going to go for the Star Trek misogyny.
No, that's different. This is the Greek thing.
Okay. I mean, I watched it. Whatever. That DC can make action sequences is not a question to me. Whether they can make a plot that makes it all work has been the problem. Yes. So I look at it and I say I'm probably going to see this movie at some point, but I am containing my excitement for it.
Yeah.
It's like expecting that episode 3 was going to be any good.
Yeah. I guess so. All I can say, I really continue to try to hold off on being too negative or anything like that. I continue to try to have faith. That's it.
This is not negativity. Faith. This is just objectively speaking.
I hate everything. Tactic Angel. Objectively speaking, DC is the worst thing ever.
No. So I'm just saying I've been fooled several times now. Like the trailer to Man of Steel wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Certainly the trailer to Dawn of Justice wasn't that bad. Yeah. Though if you really pay attention to it and you like really overanalyze it and you go online for all the commentary, eventually you can sort out a conspiracy theory about why it wasn't going to be good before it came out.
Yeah.
They happen to be right.
Yeah.
But and I didn't get on board with Suicide Squad. I know that you did.
Yeah, more or less.
And at this point it's just like, yeah. Come on, DC.
I know.
Like it shouldn't be this hard. You made 2 out of 3 good Batman movies.
Yeah. I don't know what the issue is. So yeah, but that said, I mean, again, I like how much of this trailer takes place on the island. I kind of hope that in the movie we spend a lot of time on that island, just because that seems fun to me, and reminds me a little bit of how much time we spent on Krypton in Man of Steel. So I'd like to see that. Other than that though, I mean, I can't pretend not to be aware of DC's past with movies. So
very, very questionable decision making and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll just keep it simple, They'll just keep it simple and straightforward. Wonder Woman meets Steve, whatever's Steve. I don't remember the character's name.
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. She meets
Steve Austin.
Captain James Kirk, and they go back and fight in World War I.
James Kirk wouldn't need Wonder Woman.
No, he wouldn't, but
He would want her.
He would want her, and he would have her, but
All right, that's probably a good note to end on. The Expanse. We've talked about The Expanse, and I think we talked about The Expanse on an episode that also featured No Man's Sky last year.
I think that's true. Yeah, they're related. It makes sense.
The Expanse is the sci-fi channel's space thing, near-ish future. It's less futuristic than most space things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Everybody seems to be getting around with combustible fuel still, it kind of seems like, but yeah,
and there are no inertial dampeners. There's
right
science and stuff. It's in season 2. We both reviewed season 1. We thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I was a little bit concerned about the direction about season 2. How have you been enjoying at least the first half of season 2? Midget Radio. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this will probably contain some amount of spoilers.
Tons of spoilers. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Tons. I don't know what to say. I still love all of the characters, except for God, I always fucking forget his name. The captain of the Rossanaut. I remember the name of the ship, and not this dude's name. Mustache Captain is how I think of him. He's the only one that continues to be largely uninteresting to me. But the rest of the characters I still love and have only continued to grow on me with this season. Where the plot has been going has been surprising, I will say.
Well, yeah, and once you throw in kind of the alien element, and I thought a lot of what was good about the first season was the us versus them mentality between the Martians and the Earthlings.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Holden? James Holden?
Yes.
He doesn't have a mustache.
He does. He has like a little bit of a mustache. He does. Otherwise, I wouldn't call him Mustache Captain.
Does he have a goatee?
It might be like a goatee, but I think of it as Mustache Captain.
Okay.
Because it annoys me.
Well, mustache would be authority. Like Adama had a mustache for a while.
Right. But he's Adama.
And it was amazing.
He's fucking Bill Adama. So he gets to do whatever he wants.
Okay. I've been kind of a little bit stuck between the continuing storyline of Julie Mao. Isn't that her name?
Yes.
I think so. And Miller.
Yeah.
Their storyline is strange and uncomfortable and just weird.
Yeah.
But I love Tom Jane.
He's so goddamn good in this show. His character is fucking awesome.
And I don't know. Obviously, where I ended was kind of a major shift in I think the direction of the show, at least for a few episodes. Yeah. And I'm sure it's going to double back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be annoyed.
Well, let's talk about it specifically. So,
okay.
So Miller finds Julie, more or less,
who's dead.
She's a dead,
but
blue
now
person,
animated by the proto molecule.
Yes. So he finds her, and they're hanging out.
And it's like,
and then they crash into Venus.
I was gonna say, let's make out and drive this bitch into the ditch.
Right. It's kind of a Thelma and Louise thing.
Yep.
Except it ends up on Venus. So that was that was an incredibly bizarre piece of the plot that I definitely wasn't expecting. And it's where the show has kind of, I don't know. It's like one of the things that was so great about this show is I like that. I mean, it's science fiction, but it feels so like on the ground,
authentic.
Authentic, and with its feet firmly planted on the ground. And now we're dealing with a blue cartoon alien entity, and maybe some kind of merging of consciousnesses. I'm expecting some in a crashed ship on Venus. I'm guessing now. So,
but they have to be dead. They have to be dead.
They have to be dead. But I think, but
they're not going to be, and that's where it's going to start to suck.
But the proto molecule, like it has been like echoing, and it seems like it's repeating conversations of people that died on the on that space station, whatever the fuck the name of it was. That I don't remember. So like it seems like there's some sort of weird. The proto molecule manages to like preserve people's consciousness somehow. And for some reason, Julie was like the center and the manifestation of that.
Because she was the first infected.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so, I mean, I get what they're trying to do with it. Now, what would probably be better is if they are all dead. Like the asteroid. I mean, it's an asteroid. It becomes a meteorite once it hits, though. Yeah. So it hits the ground. Everything's dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they still have the proto molecule because they didn't fire it into the sun, which seems like it would have been a completely reasonable thing to do at the time.
Right. Well, I don't know. See, I'm questioning whether the proto molecule actually died on Venus.
No, I hope that it did. And knowing something about how hot it is on Venus, it really ought to be.
I agree, but it seems to be able to survive in the vacuum of space as well. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And to your point, while I understand them coming back is probably going to be really annoying. At the same time,
probably going to be shit.
Thomas Jane is the best fucking person on that show. And I think his absence will be enormously felt.
Yeah, I worry about that too, since I haven't gotten any further than that. I think they're 2 episodes further than that, maybe 3 by the time this comes out. But I'm into a lot of the other characters. I like
me too.
Pretty much everyone on the Rocinante.
Me too.
I realize that they are all like B grade characters at best.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit. I'm finding Amos interesting.
I like Amos and I like Alex a lot.
I like Alex too. I like Alex too. They seem to be like fucking people, you know. I don't like Holden as much because he doesn't seem to be like that much of a person to me.
Well, he reminds me a lot of you.
Holden? I don't have a fucking mustache.
Because he's always like, oh, I don't want to make the decisions.
But he always makes it. He's like, I gotta do the right thing. I gotta fucking feel like I do the right thing, and that's why I'm always in these issues, and I put myself in the middle of every fucking problem. But I don't want to be. But I gotta do the right thing. Like it's just obnoxious. It's just obnoxious. Like he's fighting his own fucking feelings to be a good person and make the right decision. It's just an annoying. He's kind of a fucking martyr, and that's what's annoying and I don't know, just kind of lame and flat, sort of 2-dimensional about his character.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying because he's really more of an archetype in a setting full of characters.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what he feels like. Which is annoying. It just seems to hold the show back a little bit. Whereas like the complicated relationships between, not only the belt and Mars and Earth are incredibly interesting, but even the different personalities among belters, what their allegiance is to their identity as belters, that versus what's actually a practical and pragmatic thing to do when negotiating with Mars and Earth. All of that is so interesting. All of that I think is so well rounded, and to stick this archetype in the middle of it just gets a little annoying.
Yeah. No, I get it. I don't have as big of a problem with him. I think he serves a purpose, and for the most part, if he wasn't there, God knows what would be happening with the sometimes fairly psycho ideas of the Rocinante's crew.
Yeah.
usually aimless.
Yeah, he's great though. I like him a lot, but
he's great. He does feel among the most authentic. He is so simple as a character, though.
He is, but that's almost what makes him it's almost what makes him interesting. Because like the simplicity feels almost like you're not sure if it's duplicitous or if you're not just seeing, something like is he about to fucking go off any minute? You still have this sense that you almost have to kind of tiptoe around this character, despite the fact that he's pretty fucking upfront. And honest about the way he feels, which is a great. I mean, it's just it's just a really unique conflict. And
he's like he's like a pet Rottweiler. It's a person.
Yeah. It's really, I don't know. It's cool. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like him. I think they in general do a really good job with the cast.
I do too.
And this is gonna be strangely political, and it's gonna get us into Star Trek territory too. But I appreciate, like, they put together this cast, and there's absolutely no bullshit as far as I can see around the cast of this show and who's represented and all this stuff. It's just they're in space, they're doing stuff. And it kind of feels like the opposite of where the pre-production for Star Trek Discovery is, where they're just trying to let everybody know we're going to check all the boxes.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. I agree. And unfortunately Star Trek has this, I don't know what they have, this fucking legacy that they have to live up to, and have to live up to a little bit to in your face, I think. But The Expanse, I think, is doing the thing that Star Trek was so good at, which is managing to, I guess, sort of seem extremely diverse, but make it all feel very, very authentic.
Natural.
Especially especially with the belters, with the different language, the accents, the physical appearance. I mean, all of those like cultural differences that define the belt can be translated to basically anything, to any other culture that would want to see itself represented in a science fiction show, I guess. Whereas Star Trek may be a bit too overt at times.
Well, part of it's that there's been some news leaking out that is kind of hinting that Star Trek Discovery is gonna probably end up being a shit show.
Well,
of production issues and micromanagement by the company and and all this other stuff. And it's just like, I don't really care who the cast is going to be. You don't need to tell me there's going to be boobs and whatnot.
Yeah.
If someone starts bitching about the diversity thing, they should just say, this is a Star Trek show. You should expect that there will be some diversity. Tune in, I guess they said January, but now it's September, and now it's maybe not even this year.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Again, I'm trying to have faith. And honestly, at the end of the day, all it has to do is be better than Enterprise.
Or better than Voyager.
I guess I like Voyager a little better. But that's because I like the fucking crew. I like more than one person on Voyager. And on Enterprise, I like one person.
I like Chakotay well enough.
Ridiculous. He's probably
and I like
the weakest.
I like B'Elanna, though she does.
B'Elanna's awesome.
She shows up like by the end of the show in like 2 episodes a year because they were just like, we need 7 of 9 all of the time.
7 of 9's awesome though. I love 7 of 9.
Yeah, but they could have just called it like the last 3 seasons, Star Trek 7 of 9.
Yeah, which is fine. 7 of 9 is awesome. But still, you get Tom and B'Elanna getting married and hanging out, watching TV. I love all of that.
A little bit.
Captain Proton. Yeah. Those are those.
Not much. You don't get much.
Captain fucking Proton.
That was my thing. Whatever. We're off topic. Do you have anything else to add about The Expanse?
Well, I mean, how do you feel overall about the direction of the plot? Because it has, I mean, the thing that kind of bugs me is, you know, what I loved about the show is that sort of DS9 quality that it had, where you have different competing, and I guess these would be sort of intersolar entities, governmental, you know, entities, with different interests, and trying to figure out, I guess, how to sort of work alongside one another. But the different interests, different prejudices, all of that stuff, I can watch all day. And now we're seeing the show kind of shift into this proto-molecule, this extrasolar entity that seems to speak to intelligent life somewhere else in the galaxy, with incredibly weird, like incredibly sci-fi aspects to it. And we see it. I don't know. It feels like it's kind of breaking away from some of that. I don't know, from some of the political stuff that I really love, in favor of a big dumb, you know, aliens science fiction plot.
So, like, I have not changed in terms of, like, I was worried about it at the end of season 2. And
season 1, you mean? Yeah.
See, don't correct me.
I'm gonna every time.
Season 1, and like some of that was borne out by what has happened that I've seen in the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But depending on where they go from this point, I think that it can still be the things that we want. I have a feeling that when Tom Jane and Juliana Mao come back, I'm going to probably lose a lot of interest.
Yeah. I hope not. I mean, maybe it will still be interesting. And I mean, like I said before, and I still generally feel this way. I feel like the characters are so strong on this show that to some degree, it does not matter to me all that much what the plot is. Now, in the absence of Thomas Jane, that may become more of an issue. But I do like the other characters well enough to continue watching it. But that's a lot of the draw for me right now. It's just that I enjoy these characters, and I enjoy some of the aspects of the world building. But the plot itself, I mean, it continues to be not all that interesting to me, and it hasn't gotten any better, if only worse, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, if you want to watch spaceships, and you're not going to play No Man's Sky, you don't have a ton of options right now.
And this is good. I mean, this is a good show. This is still, I would still say it's overall a good show. It's just making choices right now that I wish were a little different. Oh wow.
Well, I think it's still a good show. I've enjoyed watching the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm just worried that it is gonna jump straight into stupid at some point.
Yeah.
And it'll crater hard for me.
Yeah.
It'll be like when we were watching Westworld and you get to like season or episode 7 and it's like, why are we spending all of this time with May or whatever?
Yeah. God damn it. And none of that made any fucking sense, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is less clever than I thought.
Nope. It really is. It really is.
So hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Wow, it's somehow less than 2 hours long.
Yeah, I think we're about due for that. For a fucking
reasonable
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
And what,
Yeah.
like 3-4 topics, depending on how you count it?
I get, yeah. Yeah, the trailers don't really count.
Yeah,
They're
that's
little,
true.
little things
Yeah.
like, what do you like? I like it looks good.
I like it. It's cool.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
Action is fun.
Action is fun.
All right. Well, that has been episode 16 of the Wednesday Night Gentlemen Multimedia Empire official podcast. Thank you everyone for watching. Please feel free to like and or subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed our banter. Go on to the Facebook, give us a like there, and we will see you on episode 17 of Wednesday Night Gentlemen, where I think we will be talking about Iron Fist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.